culture on I-24 News. I'm Oleg Grober. Thank you so much for joining me. Today on our program, we'll have young Israeli musician Dorine Levy right here in the studio. We'll meet Erno Rubik, the inventor of the Rubik's Cube. And we'll talk about Euro Disney's financial troubles. Dorine Levy is a young Israeli musician whose single Lenny Rose received acclaim from such magazines as Wonderland and Shortlist, as well as from BBC Radio 6. She will soon embark on a tour of the US, but before that, we have her here in the studio. Hello, Dorine. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
Our pleasure, totally.
Thank
now, you have an album out as well, not just the single.
True.
Tell me a little bit about it.
It's called Underwater. I released it about almost a year ago, actually, in November 2013. It's a really intimate and eclectic album, I think. It has like some many genres in it.
In one,
yes.
All in one. So let's have a small taste and watch a few moments from Lenny Rose. Come back.
Sure.
That's really beautiful. I can see why it's liked so much. You also played in South by Southwest, one of the most considered festival of our time. What was that like?
Amazing. It was like the first really big festival I played. And I've been playing many festivals since then, but that one is really different. And being in Austin, which is a really hot,
really cool city,
hot and cool city, and you're just hearing like music all day and playing all day, and you have like a lot of interactions
with people.
Yeah, people.
I would guess that's a good place to try to make some connections, trying to
absolutely
break in, but moving from there to performing in small bars in Tel Aviv.
That's fine. I'm good with any any place, of course. That's okay for me.
All right.
I love to.
Now, some of your songs have been picked up for campaigns. For instance, "There for Me" has been picked up for 2 even, with quite different ones. "Quicksilver" and "Forever 21." Does that feel strange for you when your song is taken away from you in a way and used for some brand?
Well, first of all, they ask you before. They can't use it before they ask you.
I would hope they do more than ask. I would hope
they
that
do.
they pay also.
They also pay. Yeah, they do. But no, I think it's great. I don't have no problem with it.
Were you surprised that they found that they found this song, that they found it suitable for their brand and such different brands also? I
was really surprised with both of them because I knew they were interested, but I actually got I knew they used it when it was already online it was out. So.
And are you seeing that people discover your music thanks to that?
Yeah, I got like from Quicksilver, I got lots of messages from Australia, from surfers
no
from
big
there.
Surprise there.
Yeah, so it was of course.
That's great.
Yeah.
Now, what does it take to make it, to break in, to pass whatever threshold?
A will. First of all, you need to want it, I think, and a lot of work and perseverance.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You lived in Canada for a while, right? You moved to Israel.
I was raised in Montreal.
Okay. How has that influenced your your taste in music, the influences that affect you?
A lot. The most influence is coming from living in Canada and then leaving Canada to Israel, which was like the big traumatic story of my life.
I see.
Which was
At
so
least
from
you got
there.
some good music out of it.
Yeah, from then I started to write. From when we came back.
So what's gonna happen next for you?
I'm going on Sunday to the United States for a tour for some festivals in San Francisco, LA, Vegas, New York. And then I will come back and work in the studio and finish my new EP.
Great. So best of luck for you, Dorine.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
Now, everyone knows the Rubik's Cube, right? A symbol of the 1980s. This puzzle has been challenging people for 40 years. Sandy Fortis and Pazit Dank met the cube's creator, Erno Rubik, when he was visiting Israel. Brought back this story. You go ahead and watch it. I'll try to solve this thing.
It is probably one of the most mythical inventions of the late 20th century. Erno Rubik is the man behind the cube that drove us all crazy. He was invited to Israel on several occasions by the Design Museum in Holon and the Innovation Festival in Tel Aviv. When he arrived, the Hungarian received a rock-star reception. Not only did he denounce the boycott against Israel, he even found similarities to the history of his country.
My age is a little bit longer than age of Israel as a state, a new state. But so I've seen lots of turbulences and so on. But I think for Israel it's the same thing what we have done already in Hungary. We survived and we learned a lot how to survive.
Who would imagine that a little colored six-sided cube would be so successful? In 40 years, more than 350 million cubes have been sold worldwide, an object which Erno Rubik originally created in 1973 in order to teach his architecture student the concept of space.
I was looking for good examples for that, so I made my own research, and I found several interesting things, and the cube was one of them.
Since the first version for his students, the Magic Cube, as he called it, has evolved. Today, there are many forms and it is the subject of numerous competitions, including a traditional World Championship which started in 1982. A time limitation is only one way of enhancing the challenge, but there are other difficulties that increase the adventure, such as solving the puzzle in 3D, with one hand, or blindfolded, or even more extreme, from the bottom of a pool. Erno Rubik never imagined that the cube would gain such popularity.
If we are doing something, it's not good if we are doing because looking for success or looking for money. It's good if we are look after the needs of people. If we would like to create something interesting, enjoyable, good, beautiful, useful, and so on. And if we are doing this, success will be the result.
As he describes, his personal history with the cube goes a long way back in time. It took him more than 6 years before someone agreed to manufacture and sell it. Today, Erno Rubik is a legend in his home country, Hungary, but also in the rest of the world.
Everybody knows about the Rubik's Cube, everybody knows this guy's name, and everybody is proud of him. He's an international superstar.
40 years after its creation, the Rubik's Cube is still in. From Holon in Israel to Jersey City in New York, you can never get tired of it. A major exhibition at the Liberty Science Center portrays the cube in all its glory, where one could learn how to solve the eternal riddle or watch a robot doing so in only a few seconds. This colorful game, a symbol of the 80s, will certainly not fall into oblivion like the good old jackets with epaulets.
And done. While in the past, animal acts were the cornerstone of nearly every circus, in recent years, man has taken their place on the modern circus stage. Here's a look at the French Cirque Plume.
He He had a dream to captivate the world. Therefore, he revolutionized the art of the traditional circus. At age 30, the Cirque Plume is now one of the leading companies in the contemporary circus genre.
Notre objectif était de créer
Our goal was to create magic, to create a poem, create a unique relationship between our public and our performance, and create joy, create a spark.
une compagnie.
You won't see a tiger or an elephant in the Cirque Plume. What you will find there are tightrope walkers and acrobats accompanied by live music, along with an exceptional sound and light exhibition which is synchronized with the performing artists. Among moments of humor, charm, and poetry, Cirque Plume has given a new dimension to the art of circus: emotion.
It's a real show. It's not just a circus, it's a story.
I don't have much interest in the traditional circus, but for this, I will come back every year.
This is a moment,
Happiness, pure joy.
magic, so many talents and exceptional artists.
Since its creation in 1984, Cirque Plume has created more than 500 artists.
The images that they search for, they're very, I'd say, ground level, very human. I'd say that the artists are a lot like the people in the public. You know, we're just showing another color of what it is to be human, and you know, they always look for fragility.
The circus captured the spotlight on the French stage and gained international fame. No doubt, Cirque Plume is moving towards its 30s with success.
In a moment, we'll see why Euro Disney might not remain the happiest place in Europe. But first, our cultural recommendation for the day.
The Pinacothèque in Paris will help you to discover the Kama Sutra, maybe even rediscover it. First, you have to forget everything you thought you already know about this textbook and the advice it offers. This exhibition reminds us that the Kama Sutra is not only a range of sexual positions, but also a reflection on the pleasure that reality can present, one of the major concepts of Hinduism. The exhibition, under the title of Spirituality and Eroticism, will explain the erotic aesthetic that is unique to Indian cultural life and to Hinduism. The exhibition is arranged into 7 sections corresponding to those of the Kama Sutra and offers an outstanding collection of around 300 works, including miniature sculptures, wooden carvings from the Tamil Nadu region, and drawings that tell the prominent wisdom of the textbook: enjoy life.
And now from The Economy magazine, I'm joined in the studio by Daniel Roth. How are you, Daniel?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Always a pleasure. We're going to talk about
Disney.
money.
Yeah, money. We're going to talk about Disney, also magic, like the magic that you made with the Rubik's Cube. It was really amazing. Disneyland Paris, better known as Euro Disney by most, actually, is in deep debt to their parent company, Disney. Disney actually owns 40%. Not
Just 40%?
Just 40%. The second biggest investor is a Saudi prince. There's a lot of people with money in this, but they're deep in debt. The last time they made money was 2008.
Right before the crisis.
Right, and the Eurozone has not recovered, and Euro Disney has not recovered. Things are not looking good for them. They're $1.25 billion is what they're taking from Disney.
But, you know, it's Disney. I mean, if anyone's too big to fail, as some were in 2008, it's Disney.
Yeah, so one of the things to note is that Disney last year brought in $2.3 billion in profit. There are theme parks in the U.S. where theme parks are still doing great. Brought in $3.6 million in revenue.
That's priorities for you.
Yeah.
You know, in Europe, everybody's still trying to get something to eat, but in America, it's all about having fun.
You know,
No, I
you get
get it.
elephant ears at the theme park. It's good. It's,
Yeah. So what's going to happen? Are they going to shut down, or are they going to...
Disney seems committed to them. They're putting in the money. So that's the major thing, and they're letting shareholders decide if they're going to pitch in on this or step away.
Right, but they're going to have to do some changes to not find themselves in this situation again.
Right, but Disney is committed. That's the thing. We're not going to see an end to Disneyland
Not
Paris.
yet.
Not
All
yet.
right, what else do you have for us quickly?
Gone Girl, Ben Affleck's new flick, which
David
is getting
Fincher.
rave reviews. David Fincher, this is it did way better than they thought. 38 million at the box office.
That's
60
a lot
million.
for a David Fincher film.
Yeah, it's his biggest opening if you don't count inflation. But most of all, they're gonna do very, very well. It was a $60 million budget. This wasn't a huge budget film as far as huge budget films go.
Daniel, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you at home for joining us as well. Please do so again. Tomorrow, we'll be right here.